dealer has to have conformed to that price publication. Those are two of the elements of being a true car dealer.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. Sure. Let's see. I think that we have another public comment. So, yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Jacoby. I appreciate that. You don't need to keep giving you your exercise, getting up and down, but thank you. I believe we have another public comment from Mr. Hall.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I don't normally jump up twice, but I guess maybe in an effort to make this clearer for my dealers, since this, as represented today, is nothing more than a lead generator, has nothing to do with the actual sales that are consummated, then maybe what we need is in the agreement a clear representation that TrueCar will not be in the computer systems for the car dealers. Those are DMS systems. There's really no need for them to go in and verify in the DMS systems that the sale was done, since they're not paid on that as they've indicated.
If I could just interject right there, if we're talking about access to DMS systems and things of that nature, I mean, our charge right now is just to ascertain whether it's violative of 1537 or not. And so if you don't mind, I just
sure. Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate that very much. Let me see if I can rephrase that, if I will. In my effort to make sure that our dealers understand clearly what is legal and not legal, that a lead generation on its merits, based on my understanding,
certainly the flat fee. The other is where there is a particular dollar amount ascribed to every lead that you're getting, and that there is no question about that. And Bruce, correct me if I'm wrong, and Eric, please correct me if I'm wrong. That is violative of, and this board has construed that as violative of 1537 when you're paying per lead as opposed to a flat fee. And so I just want to make sure
that the lead does not lead to a sale.
Correct. Yes. 100%. I'm sorry, Mr. Tate.
That was exactly one of the things that I was going to bring up, that we have in the past turned down companies who brought to us where they're charging per lead. And I guess my concerns, I'm not on the committee, but we voice that too, but my concerns is, as we listen to this presentation, we're hearing that part of the element of this is lead close. And I'm sorry, but as I listen to this discussion of the pricing, I feel like I'm not sure what the difference is what they're doing and what a salesman does in negotiating the price, because they're, in essence, picking several dealers here and pricing to this customer and guaranteeing these prices. I think in so many elements, I'm hearing violations of the law and the policies that we've had in the past.
And I think what we'll do, and I appreciate the comments, and again, go into the committee's charge right now. I think I'll move back and we'll, certainly would definitely some more discussion is appropriate if needed in that regard, or somebody could make a motion as to whether they feel a pricing model currently being implemented and paid for by dealers in the Commonwealth of Virginia is violative of Virginia law. If that is a motion somebody wants to put forth, we can certainly do that if it's seconded. We can have discussion on that motion. So, or we can continue to discuss it, whatever is the will of the committee. So we have a motion from Mr. Pelton that the pricing model set forth by Bruce Gould and discussed today, that is currently being implemented in the Commonwealth of Virginia and utilized by dealers to pay a third party, is violative of Virginia law. And as a result, and this would be part of the motion that Mr. Pelton is making, is that dealers would be notified as such immediately, and enforcement action would begin after notification to dealers. Is that your motion?
Yes, sir.
Is there a second? There's a second. So let's, any discussion on that motion?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, please.
What is the opinion of the Attorney General's office on this matter?
Eric?
I think it's consistent with the task force report in 2000.
Thank you.
So, for those of who couldn't hear, the opinion of the Attorney General's office, and Eric, correct me to make sure I got this correct, is that the motion before the board is consistent with the Internet Task Force report that this board has used as guidance before. Further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The second matter is, and this has been brought up, and that is, and we appreciate Mr. Jacoby's comments about, Bruce had laid out some things in his introductory comments about advertising, because obviously dealers are the ones who are held accountable for their advertising on third-party sites, and we appreciate TrueCar's willingness to work with Bruce in that regard. So to that end, I would ask for the committee's support, not in the form of a formal motion, but just a general consensus that we give Bruce the direction to assess the dealer's advertising on TrueCar and the compliance of the Virginia auto dealers, their advertising, whether they are in compliance with Virginia code in their advertising means on that particular site. Please, yes.
If I may, we discussed the current pricing model and understand the views that have been expressed on that. We at TrueCar understand those views. We also proposed a secondary pricing model, and perhaps along the same lines that you just gave authority to Mr. Gould on advertising issues. Perhaps the same could be done, if I could suggest that, with regard to consideration of the secondary proposal regarding pricing.
I think, and again, if the committee's in support, I think that's perfectly fair, in that regard to utilize Mr. Gould, and his door is always open to discuss the alternative pricing model in that regard, and then from there we would get a staff report from Mr. Gould as to his opinion in regards to the compliance of that new pricing model. We put it certainly before the board. So yes, I think that's perfectly apt. Thank you. So in terms of my direction, that would be something that I would suggest that this committee would charge Bruce with in terms of not only taking a look at compliance with Virginia code in terms of advertising regulations, which I believe, Eric, is that 1538 or 1581?
1581.
Yeah, 1581. And then secondarily, as Mr. Jacoby pointed out, taking a look at the alternative pricing model and having a staff report as to the staff's opinion as to whether that's compliant or not, at which point Mr. Gould could put that before the advertising committee. For support of that, the committee, or should I say, is there an action in the advertising committee doing as such? Being no objection right there, Bruce, that is your charge. So.
And Mr. Chairman, let me also mention, and certainly I'll give Mr. Jacoby an opportunity while he's here. Bruce, in your introductory remarks, when you said that you went on as a shopper looking for a particular car, that chose not to go forward with any particular car, but then got, and these are my words, solicited for another make or model. Right. I certainly think, Mr. Chairman, that raises some licensing issues, because it does seem like you're going, your true car is going a little bit further than what we just discussed from an advertising standpoint. So I think that there probably are licensing issues that need to be reviewed by staff and potentially by the committee, the licensing committee as well.
Just to add to that, I made a few notes. It seems, in my opinion, the TrueCars is passing the line of interacting with the customer. Therefore,
if I could just
under licensing, I think we've got something to take a look at.
Yeah, and I'll bring that up to the board. But I just, I guess I wanted to prepare Mr. Jacoby that we'll give you an opportunity at the board to briefly give us your perspective on those issues. But I do think that it needs to be looked at by the committee, and I will correct that at the board.
Moving on to the next item, tab 7, we received a letter from, via facsimile, if I'm not mistaken, from an email from Charles Barker, Infinity, if I'm not mistaken. And they have asked for a continuance of the matter if this is under new business. First of all, actually, before I go to new business, is there any other old business from the floor? Being none, we'll move on to new